understanding the classic holds found in Aikido. When people are trying to understand Aikido, they often use modern martial arts or sport martial arts as their example of what you should be doing in a fight situation. So when they see the things in Aikido, they look really, really strange. In Aikido, we have lots of hand-holding techniques, like a katate, a single-side hand grab, or a cross hand grab, two-hand grab, both hands grab. And if you come from a situation of fighting as a youth on the playground or in a sports situation, these holds don't seem very practical to you. You're used to seeing things like a bear hug, perhaps a waist lock, and of course those things can be done from the front or the back. You can have bear hugs and waist locks. This gives me good body control, so I have a lot of body control over Mike. It gives me the ability to lift Mike and throw him, take him where I want, or hold him so my friends can hit him. You also see things like the rear naked choke, classic choke like this. You don't see this kind of choke in Aikido. So when you're used to seeing those kind of things and you see what we have in Aikido, it doesn't seem to make any sense. And then further, if you go to practice those things in sport martial arts, you see that the sport martial arts holds are much better. Bear hugs are much better than what you see in Aikido. And the reason that we don't use those in Aikido is very simple. In Aikido, we're always dealing with weapon orientation. So we're always dealing with someone else who's armed or when I'm armed. So for example, if I were in a bear hug situation here with Mike, and all I do is I grab him. Now I do have good body control. The problem is I don't have any control over Mike's hands. So if, as an armed samurai, Mike can quickly draw a weapon, he can stab me, right, make sure I stay here. Now it's just a matter of me bleeding out. As soon as I've lost enough blood that I can't hold him anymore, that's the end of it, right? Mike can also cut my arms from here. If I came in for a waist lock, this is even worse for me, right? I have a lot of body control, but I have no appendage control. Because I can't control Mike's hands, he can cut me, stab me. This is bad for me, which means I would have to control his hands if I don't want to get hurt in this position. A rear naked choke, even worse, right? So from this position here, Mike's hands are completely free. He can stab me. It's a matter of, do I pass out before, do I bleed out before Mike passes out? So in a modern sports situation where you don't have a weapon, you can't see why we have the kinds of holds we have in Aikido. And other holds that control the body better maybe seem like a better idea. Now the classic holds we have in Aikido are easily illustrated again when we look at a weapon. So if Mike has a weapon out and I want to control Mike, so I want to grab his wrist and control it, and I can work from here. So this would be Gyakute-dori, or Katate-dori, or a great grab like Morote-dori, where I'm really getting in and getting some control, keeping control of his hand. Our choke that we use in Aikido is Ushiro Kubishime, which does this. You see, I choke him here, but I account for the other hand that has the weapon in it, right? If from this situation, say Mike was able to get his hand in and switch weapon hands, I could quickly slide back into Ushiro Ryote, where I have both of his hands checked. Now, Ushiro Ryote-dori without a weapon might seem like a silly grab, but when the weapon's in the hand, you can see it's an ideal grab, because now I'm controlling the weapon, so Mike can't stab me with it. It's really important when you're studying Aikido to understand where the techniques come from. They don't come from modern ideals of fighting. They don't come from a one-on-one, unarmed situation like you'd see in a sport fight. They come from weapons conflict where I'm dealing with multiple attackers who are probably armed. And if I have the ability, I'm going to be armed. So that's why he's going to be grabbing me to control me, because I need to be armed. Understanding the classic holds performed in Aikido.